Hello everyone, Ollie here from Dudes Talk Cinema, and I'm finally here to give my full review on Shazam! Fury of the Gods. So, just to clarify, I was meant to record and upload this video before watching Blue Beetle. I went to watch Blue Beetle the night before last with Rusty. We had a really good time, but if you want to hear our full thoughts on Blue Beetle, go check it out. Why not? I'll leave a link in the description below so you guys go check that out and so you can hear our full thoughts on that. So what I was meant to do before watching Blue Beetle, in preparation for Blue Beetle, it sounds weird because none of the other DCEU films are really connected to the Blue Beetle. But anyway, so yeah, I wanted to stay up to date with all the DCEU films, just because why the hell not? So I watched Shazam the day before I went to go watch Blue Beetle, but I hadn't recorded the video because I didn't have enough time to. So I'm here now today, of course, to give you my full thoughts now. And I also want to do a review for Black Adam, even though I did start watching that recently, but I just turned it off because it does not interest me. But you know, I'm probably going to do it anyway because you know I'm going to give it another shot. And then I'm going to review The Flash, which is the other one, which I have not watched. So, I'm here now to review Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Let's do it. So again, this film was directed by the one and only David F. Sandberg. If you have not watched my full review for the first film, I highly recommend you do. Yeah, so the first film was also directed by David F. Sandberg, who again, in that video, I had mentioned that I'm a big fan of David F. Sandberg. I'm a big fan of his short horror films and his other feature-length films that he's done recently, including Annabelle Creation and his feature-length film of Lights Out that was based on his short horror film that he did years ago. But anyway, so I love David F. Sandberg, and I was looking forward to this one after watching the first one, after being pleasantly surprised by it. And if I'm being honest with you, I thought it was okay. I did hear a lot of reviews online that it was mixed, mostly negative. Was more leaning towards negative than positive, which is a shame. But after watching the first one, I wanted to give this one a shot because I really enjoyed the campy humour, the campiness of the campy tone of it, and some of the humour did land for me in that film. Maybe one on exception of one or two times where I was like, but it wasn't like really cringe at those couple of times. But yeah, I was curiously optimistic, should I say, about this film. Because again, hearing all the mixed reviews online, so I did not actually watch this film in the cinema because again at the time I did not watch the first one. So why would I go watch the second one if I've not watched the first one? So yeah, I'm glad that I didn't go watch Fury of the Gods in the cinema because there were things from the first one that were carried on to this one. So yeah, that would have been a bit like, what? How did that work? So yeah, I obviously did buy it on Blu-ray because I collect all the DCEU films. I'm up to date now. Obviously the next one I have to collect is The Flash, which comes out, which I did mention in the Blue Beetle review, which was, I believe it's September 17th when I edited it. So yeah, September 17th I believe. So I'm gonna pre-order that on 4K because I'm trying to start upgrading all my films, not just DCU, but all my Blu-rays up to 4K. Anyway, so Shazam! Fury of the Gods. I thought it was okay. I'm gonna do a bit of a breakdown of the story, and then I'm gonna actually give you my positives and negatives on the film, and do I recommend the film? Oh yeah, I should probably mention this before I start breaking it down. If you've not watched the film, do not watch. Spoilers ahead, obviously. But if you don't care, or if you've already watched the film, please continue watching. I have not watched this for the past couple of days, so there may be things that I may have forgotten. So for people that have watched the film, I apologise if I forget some of the stuff. But again, I'm not going to go in fully fledged detail of the whole film. But yeah, so basically this film opens up and introduces us to two villains. Two of three villains. The third one is revealed later on in the film. So the two villains, I forgot their names, but they are goddesses. All three of them are goddesses, but the first two that we are introduced to are played by Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu, I believe that's how you pronounce Lucy's last name, Lucy Liu. Yeah, we're introduced to them, and they're basically in this museum to recover the staff in the first film, which was obviously snapped in half by Billy Shazam in the first film. At the end, fight with Mark Strong's character, I've forgotten his name, but he was the villain in the first one. And basically, they recover it, and I think there was like an exhibition happening whilst they were there, and when they were up close to the glass, and basically all they did was just push the glass, and it just smashed like really easily enough. That was a bit weird. Like, it was cut strangely. So that was a kind of a minor negative, I guess. I guess it's a nitpick, but you know, if anything that counts, I guess, for a negative. But yeah, I thought that the opening was okay. So yeah, they were introduced, and then we're shown obviously the family back together. They basically set, you know, in the lair in the first film. Again, if you've not watched the first film, why are you watching this? But in the first one, obviously, the lair is where, you know, the Black Wizard was. He was called Shazam. He was the one that gave, obviously, Billy's powers in the first one. So basically, the siblings, basically, the kids, the foster kids, basically made it into a little lair, and make it all fun with a massive TV and everything, some sofas, some bean bags or whatever. I can't exactly remember what was in there, but make it all nice, fun, and cozy. So they did that off screen, obviously. I mean, we introduced that, but so yeah, we're back with them. They're much more. Zachary Levi in this role, he was great in the first role. He did a great job portraying a adult Billy in the first film, but he's very more childlike in this one. He's more childlike than young Billy himself. I've been hearing a lot of that online, and I actually do agree that he is very more childlike than I've forgotten the name of the child actor who plays Billy, but Zachary Levi does. He ramps it up with because obviously he does play a child, but he's very childlike in this film compared to the first one. So keep that in mind if you haven't watched the film. So yeah, characters are back. Basically, Freddy, he was obviously the main other foster kid that was with Billy in the last film. He meets a girl named Anne, who is discovered to be the third sister, the third goddess, I guess you could say. I think they're goddesses, but yeah, she's revealed to ended up being the third goddess. So basically, the goddesses, they basically want to take the powers away from Billy and obviously the other foster kids as well. Well, they just want to retrieve the powers from them. They want the powers back, basically. And of course, originally they refuse. The sisters basically end up capturing Freddy, and basically Billy's like, oh, just let Freddy go and we'll give you the powers back. So yeah, the Sisters of Zeus. Is it Zeus? I can't remember who is. But the sisters, basically, the goddesses basically want the powers back. The Shazam powers back. It basically comes down to one of the sisters, being Lucy Liu's character, ended up being the main villain, because the other two sisters, they didn't double down. However, Lucy Liu's character did. It's just a bit ridiculous, but anyway, so Lucy Liu doubles down and basically goes ahead and, you know, tries to take their powers away, and they end up, every single one of them ends up losing their powers, but they manage to retrieve the staff and basically end up getting their powers back at certain points in the film, and they end up getting their powers back after defeating Lucy Liu's character. So basically, they find what they're looking for. So, well, the second thing they're looking for. The first thing was obviously the staff that gives them the power. which was obviously broken at the time. And then the second thing they were looking for was the seed of life, or the seed for the tree of life, I believe, which was actually a golden apple. It's like a Minecraft reference, because I've never seen a golden apple outside of Minecraft, obviously. But anyway, so they find the golden apple, which was actually in like a secret library in the lair. The foster kids' lair. It was like a secret library. I mean, it was there at the beginning, when they found the secret library area. And then you also get, I think it's Steve the pen. He was kind of cool. And he wasn't like a major character. It's just it's a pen that moves and, does gestures and stuff. Yeah, so they end up retrieving the seed and end up planting it into the ground, which was actually I think it was like in the middle of a stadium, like a school sports stadium. And it basically grows and just grows everywhere, and all these like mythical creatures come out, all sorts of like trolls and all sorts of like even like a undead unicorn kind of thing. They're all like made of wood, I believe, from what David Sandberg said in like one of the interviews. But yeah, all these like mythical creatures came out of the roots of the tree that was growing through the ground and everything, and the ground was breaking and everything. It was like an earthquake. But yeah, so basically, obviously they try and stop them. The kids try obviously to stop Lucy Liu's character at this point, because obviously Helen Mirren doesn't want to. Well, her character, I've forgotten her name, but her character, I can never remember all these fucking mythical names. But yeah, Helen Mirren's character ends up getting injured. She doesn't die. Well, she dies at one point, but then she gets revived by Shazam by using his powers. Yeah, basically they end up stopping Lucy Liu's character. Does she die? I can't remember. Or did she get sent back to? I can't remember. It was a couple of days ago. So you're lucky that I remember all this so far. But basically they stop her. Basically, I can't remember if they kill her, but Billy ends up dying, which was a massive surprise. He basically sacrifices himself to basically stop, to destroy the tree of life, to obviously stop all this madness that's happening in the city. Yeah, that's the film as a whole. Basically, I mean, if you have any questions, if any of you guys have any questions, please feel free to put them in the comments below, and I'll happily answer them as much as I can. To be honest, if I know the answer to them, then I obviously will answer those comments. But yeah, overall I thought it was okay. Some of the humor was intensified a bit, including Zachary Levi's childish humor and childlike personality. Because obviously he is a kid, but he ramps it up even more than, as I already said, more than the younger Billy Batson. Again, I forgot the actor's name, but yeah, he's very more childlike than that. The other foster kids, the adults were around the same than the first one, but it was just Zachary Levi's performance was shot up way more. Let me know what you guys think of the characters, if you thought the other kids were changed or adjusted more, but if you know what I mean. So yeah, I overall I thought it was okay. It's probably not going to be one of the DCU films that I'm probably going to come back to so often. But I'll watch it again another time, but not for a while. But yeah, in terms of the negatives, the positives I already said. I do like the I mean the tone's still there, but again it's ramped up where it's just more jokes, more childlike humor and everything. It's just it's like the Thor Love and Thunder. It's like if you compare the first Shazam film, it's like Thor Ragnarok, and then this one's more like Thor Love and Thunder. So if you've watched those films, then you know what I mean. I don't know, like, I mean, I already have a rating all set and ready. I may as well just say it now. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10, which is equivalent to a 3-star. I thought, yeah, again, I thought it was okay. Not one I'm going to be coming back to rewatch every so often. I mean, do I recommend it if you are a DC fan and if you've not checked it out yet? I mean, sure, go ahead and give it a rewatch. Just don't have any high expectations. Yeah. I'll tell you what. Before, I don't really have really much else to say. I mean, I like all the characters. I mean, the characters are fine. I mean, I mean, even though I said that Zachary Levi's character, you know, the adult Billy Batson's way more childlike. It doesn't really pull me out of the film too much. Sometimes I think he's funny, but sometimes I think he can be a bit over the top. He tries too hard, but you know, it's not. It doesn't take me out of the movie too much. But yeah, yeah. Let me know what you think of Zachary Levi in this film. But yeah, so again, positives. I like some of the humor in this. Some of it's back. However, negatively wise, some of it is ramped up a bit, which not so often, but sometimes I find it a bit too much. But the CGI, the special effects were okay. There was a couple of moments I was like, it's very green screeny. But that is like some of the most recent superhero films, comic book films are like recently. Like what I've heard about Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, that's very heavily CGI, green screeny stuff. So I'm certainly not looking forward to seeing that. But anyway, so yeah, whilst the humor and the tone is still there, the very campy stuff, it is ramped up more. So I mean, if you like it, if you love the campy and funny humor, and if you want to see more of that, then I guess this is the perfect type of film for you. Yeah, I mean, actually, I'll tell you what, I'll talk about the post-credit scene, the mid and post-credit scene. Sorry, should I say? So the mid-credit scene, again, spoilers. Obviously, I've basically spoiled most of the stuff. So if you're still watching, obviously this is gonna be a spoiler. But the mid-credit scene involves Peacemaker, not Peacemaker himself, not John Cena, but it has two of the characters from the series, and they're also briefly in the Suicide Squad, James Gunn's Suicide Squad, and that is Amelia Harcourt, played by Jennifer Holland, which is James Gunn's wife, and John, I've forgotten his last name, Economist, I believe. I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name. I think it's Economist, maybe, but it's something like that. But I did meet the guy, actually, who plays John, called Steve Agee, sorry. I met him last year in November's Comic-Con, which was quite cool. Even though he's not like a big Hollywood actor, he was still quite surreal, like seeing him, meeting him, because obviously I had watched The Suicide Squad, which is personally my favourite DCE film, as I mentioned in the past couple of videos. And then I also really loved Peacemaker as well. I think that was really good. But yeah, season 2 is confirmed, and I can't wait to watch that, which was, of course, confirmed by James Gunn himself not too long ago. But yeah, I met him, and he was cool. We didn't talk all that much, but he seemed really cool. From, you know, I got his autograph. But anyway, the mid credit scene itself, involving Amelia Harcourt and John Economist, I believe that's his last name. Basically, they're recruiting Billy into the Justice Society, which I believe was introduced in Black Adam. Again, I only watched a little bit of it. I didn't get up to a certain point where all the other superheroes or villains, I think they're heroes, yeah. The Justice Society, I did not end up seeing them when I first tried to watch it. I got up to a certain point, but yeah, apparently, yeah. So basically, Amelia and John were basically recruiting Billy into the Justice Society. He thought he was gonna get recruited into the Justice League because Amelia said justice, and he said, "Stop there, I'm in," or whatever. And he said, "Oh, so okay, you are in the Justice Society," and he's like, "Yeah, well, what?" So that was kind of funny. But yeah, that post-credit scene was quite a big surprise. I'm glad I didn't get. I got very little spoilers. So when I watched the reviews when this film first came out, because I saw a few reviews because I wasn't so sure about watching it. But I'm glad I didn't get too many spoilers, especially for this credit scene, because that was a big surprise. I was like, "Hey, that's cool." And then regarding the post-credit scene, the second credit scene, it involves Mark Strong's character's return. He's still in prison. He's got a massive beard now, and there's that weird worm thing that was at the end of the first film, with a weird weird automated voice. But that was But the Peacemaker one was really cool. That one with Amelia and John. But yeah, that's the mid and post credit scene, and I don't really have too much else to say regarding the film. But I thought it was okay as a whole. The film, Fear of the Gods, I thought it was okay. But I guess if you are a superhero fan and if you are a completionist for the DC films or the DCEU in particular, yeah, go check it out. Again, don't have any high expectations. Sorry, don't go in with high expectations. But if you enjoy it, cool. I respect that. That's good. I always respect people's opinions. But I thought it was okay. So yeah, I gave it I gave it a 5 out of 10, and that is equivalent to a 3-star. So yeah, that's my rating for the film. So regarding with my next review, I'm hoping to do Black Adam. I see if I can get through that. I'm going to give it another chance. But yeah, I'm not too looking forward to it. But again, I want to give it a chance. And then I'm definitely going to try and check out The Flash. Yeah. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments, and I'll try my best to answer all of them. And yeah, that's all I have else to say. But yeah, stay tuned for my next review, which might be Black Adam, depending if I can get through it. But yeah, that's it for me today, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Again, comment below if you have any questions on the film itself. If there's anything that I've missed, please let me know. Subscribe for more videos that will come out in the future. And yeah, hope you enjoyed, guys. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.